Greetings from Tokyo, my dear friends. This is Daisuke, and I very much hope that this video finds you well and in very good spirits wherever you are in the world. And today, if you don't mind, I would very much like to continue on and indeed conclude our discussions and our explorations with respect to a very special and extraordinary recent release made by the Criterion collection during this year of 2021. And it is this set, which is Melvin Van Peebles' Essential Films. It has been my great honor to be able to share some of my thoughts and comments about this set in general, and also each of the works that is included as part of this set, including the supplements that accompany each of these works. And so what I'd like to do for purposes of today, if you don't mind, is just to provide some other thoughts and comments about the presentation, the release itself. Also, I'd like to focus in on the booklet very briefly. It has a really robust booklet. And then some final thoughts that will conclude this particular series of video discussions on this great set, Melvin Van Peebles' Essential Films. So first off, I would like to say that the box set itself, it's in this cardboard box setting, and we have each of the films, you can take them out, and each of the films has its own sleeve of sorts, and it's one of these situations where they aren't plastic cases, but they are these cases like so they open and close like this, with and the cardboard covering in terms of this type of packaging style. And then we have the spine numbers that are shown on the spines of each of the individual releases when they are taken out. I should point out too that the box itself, or the release itself overall, does not have its own spine number. The spine numbers are designated for each of the individual releases, starting with the story of a 3-day pass and going through to Don't Play Us Cheap. And so I should point out here that the cover art design for each of the releases is very wonderful indeed, and inside you can find the disc as well as some more cover art design, or not cover art, but more art design in terms of a type of poster art display. So here's the story of a 3-day pass. Here's the cover art design for Watermelon Man, the outside and then the inside. Right there, very interesting. There's a duality that is being expressed in both representations there. And then we have Sweetback's Badass Song, which we have in this thicker type of layout presentation. And we understand this because, unlike the other film releases in this set, which have a single Blu-ray disc for each of those that film and the supplements, here we have a 2-disc release for Sweetback's Badass Song. And here are the 2 discs here. And one of the reasons why we have 2 discs is not only do we have the film Sweetback's Badass Song represented here in terms of what you can see on the front cover, and also the interior flap here, the inside here, but we also had, as part of the inside, this, which is the cover that is meant to represent the feature film that is found on the second disc of this release. And that film on such second disc is the Mario Van Peebles work from the early 2000s, Badass. And so it's really interesting to have this, the cover for Sweetback's Badass Song, with Melvin Van Peebles here on the cover as Sweetback, and then you turn it and you see the similar look, the similar pose of Melvin Van Peebles as portrayed by Mario Van Peebles in the Mario Van Peebles film Badass. And that's a wonderful type of parallel that is emerging here, and it's a wonderful it's a wonderful representation of the type of parallel that exists between those 2 works as well. So well done, Criterion, for that very clever way of designing this particular packaging. for this film. And then finally we have the last of the features included in this great set, Don't Play Us Cheap. And here we have that wonderful design both on the front and the back, and the way in which the various characters are portrayed in a type of this color scheme dynamic of various sorts, as well as the wonderful reminder of the musical iteration and the way in which this work also exists as a musical, and the playbill, etc. Wonderful design overall. This is a great release, and it's again a collection of great releases that is part of this box set. And then that's not all too, because the set itself also has included with this this great robust booklet. This is really wonderful. It is about, 52 pages, so a lot of writings. As with many other Criterion releases, it starts with the cast and credits of each of the features that's included here, and then we have essays, and we have not one, not two, but many essays. So we have one essay which is reintroducing Melvin Van Peebles, and this is by Raquel J. Gates, And next we have The Story of a 3-Day Pass, Ordinary Love, Alison Nadia Field. And I should say too that this essay also touches upon some of the early short films of Melvin Van Peebles that we can also find as the supplements or part of the supplemental features of the disc release of The Story of a 3-Day Pass. So it's a wonderful essay that accompanies the overall disc release. Well done, Criterion, for this particular direction of the essay, and as well as other aspects of this great essay. And then Raquel J. Gates, or Professor Gates, then returns for the essay on Watermelon Man. And this is called Watermelon Man, Melvin in Hollywood Land. And this is another just a brilliant essay on the various production details and the significance of certain choices made that ended up becoming Watermelon Man, the film. And as we know, it is a very funny, it is also very, it's satirical, it is also, it's a biting satire. There is a wit, but there is also a sense of a type of almost a sense of the absurdity of the situation. There's a Kafka-esque type of vibe to it, as well as the way in which it touches upon a certain socio-economic and political concerns of the moment. And also it's very reflective of Melvin Van Peebles and his career and the choices that he made and makes pre and post this particular point of his career. So this is a great essay from Raquel J. Gates, so please check it out if you can. And then we have Michael B. Gillespie, Sweet Sweetback's badass song, I'm Gonna Say a Black Ave Maria for You. And that is a reference to a particular point in the film, a particular character that Sweetback meets. And I should say too that associated with that particular point in the film, we have the commentary by Melvin Van Peebles, which is also part of the release of Sweet Sweetback. And this is the point where Melvin Van Peebles, if I remember correctly, reveals how, according to him, this is one of the places where Sweetback begins to get his so-called political education. And so it's a very important point, and it's great that the essay has this as a reference to the title. It's a wonderful essay too, really rich and very probing, and also has this because the film itself is so important on so many levels, and the Gillespie essay, I think, touches upon each of these levels so well and so astutely. So please check this out if you can as well. And then last but certainly not least, we have the Lisa B. Thompson essay on the film Don't Play Us Cheap, and that is Don't Play Us Cheap, The Sacredness of Saturday Night, or The Gospel According to Melvin Van Peebles. And again, this is, the sacredness of Saturday night, the Saturday night time where people are having fun at the party, and all the havoc that could possibly happen with the characters of Trinity and David, etc. But this is another wonderfully wonderfully written essay. It's touching upon all the aspects of Melvin Van Peebles and this work, Don't Play Us Cheap, also his career, his theater career, and the way in which he was also very celebrated, and he enjoyed a lot of critical and commercial success as a theater, a playwright of stage plays and musicals. And so this is a wonderful reminder of this aspect of, as I say, the great Renaissance artist Melvin Van Peebles. So please check out this essay as well if you can on Don't Play Us Cheap. And then there's information about the release and the transfers as well. So this is really great. I should point out too that the art directors are credited to Sarah Habibi, Eric Skillman, designer Julian Alexander, and Slang Incorporated or Slang Inc., and cover illustration Emery Douglas. So we have this great type of artistic design, and it's carried through to the booklet itself. And we have as well some pictures that are accompanying a lot of the essays and the description. So wonderful overall package and design and presentation from Criterion. And I should say in conclusion that the set itself serves as a beautiful and lovely celebration of the cinematic legacy and the artistic legacy of Melvin Van Peebles. And it is so poignant and in many ways very bittersweet as well when we remember that Melvin Van Peebles passed away earlier this year. And the time of his passing was very close to the timing of the release of this particular set from Criterion. And so there is also this air of a bittersweet sadness in terms of the passing of this filmmaker artist legend. And when one sees many of the supplements, and we are reminded of the genius and wit and deep, significant intelligence of the artist, the man, Melvin Van Peebles, there is this sense of sadness, that's for sure, in terms of the artist that we have lost. But at the same time, there's also a sense of triumph and also a sense of celebration and a true, lovely looking back and recalling and reminiscing and revealing, and as I say, a true lovely and poignant celebration of the artist, the man, and the true independent cinematic living spirit, the true energetic spirit, the pioneering spirit, the artist extraordinaire spirit, all of those at once, that is shown through in the personage, in the form, in the great presence of this one-of-a-kind, extraordinary filmmaker and artist, the Renaissance artist par excellence. This is Melvin Van Peebles, and this set, as I say in conclusion, marks a wonderful celebration of his truly important and landmark legacy to the world of art and to the world of cinema. This is Melvin Van Peebles' Essential Films. Okay, my friends, so that's it for now, and so thank you very much for your time. I very, very much appreciate it. And until we meet again, please be happy and healthy and well, and please keep on watching a lot of great, great, great movies. So thank you very much for your time, and cheers.